What does write what you know entail? Does it mean that you should only write about facts? And where do aliens, magic, and other worlds fit into this? Today we're discussing 3 do's and don'ts for writing what you know, so be sure to stick around. Let's get started. Hey guys, Nour here, and welcome back to my channel. For those visiting for the first time, hello! I'm the fantasy author of the novel Divinity Falling. Be sure to subscribe for weekly writing advice videos. As writers, we're often told to write what we know, but what does that mean exactly? This statement is especially confusing to new writers. So to get straight to the point, I'm going to share 3 do's for writing what you know, followed by 3 don'ts. Number 1, do write using your emotional truth. Not everything you write must be physical, such as describing real people or real places. In fact, that's not what writing what you know is about. Instead, writing what you know comes from within your soul. What is your emotional truth? How you feel about things is part of what you know, and it makes for real deep storytelling. So don't be afraid to have your characters go through emotions you are experiencing or have experienced, whether they are good or bad. Real emotional impact is what makes characters so captivating. Number 2, do write about something you've experienced through the voice of your character. For example, if you've ever lost a loved one, you could write that into your character's backstory and have them go through a similar experience. Of course, the experience doesn't have to be a sad one. You could write about a happy moment, such as a time you won a prize at the fair. Your character can have a similar experience. In this way, you write what you know and your character's experiences feel more authentic, because they are. Number 3, do write using your knowledge and skills. If you know nothing about being a surgeon, don't write about a character who must perform surgery. Instead, choose a skill you already know, such as gardening, and have your character be good at that. Of course, in this case, writing what you know could also involve learning a new skill in order to write about it. So don't be afraid to do research, interview experts, and maybe even take a course in order to learn something crucial for your story. This is part of writing what you know. And now for the don'ts. Number 1, don't write an autobiography. Just because you're writing what you know doesn't mean you should write about yourself or your life's events. Not unless you're writing a memoir or nonfiction. But if you're writing fiction, don't write about yourself. Like I said earlier, rely on your emotional truth, experiences, and knowledge. But don't share your personal life with the reader. Remember, your story isn't about you, but about your characters and what they're going through. Sharing similar emotions and experiences with your characters is great, but don't make this about you. Number 2, don't trap yourself in a box and only write about things you know. Fictional work can be completely unlike your world, but still contain elements you are familiar with. For example, stories with magic exist not because their writers know magic. Rather, other elements in those stories are familiar to their writers. For example, when J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter, she might have felt a connection to Harry's struggles at the beginning of the series. She might have even felt a connection with the Weasleys and their loving, supportive nature. Those are things she already knew and felt compelled to write, even if she was also writing about magic and things out of this world. And finally, number 3, don't write what you know without using your imagination. Your imagination is part of what you know. There's a whole world inside your head inspired by things you see and read every day. Without imagination, we wouldn't have dragons or wizards or sea monsters. Those things exist because someone used their imagination and wrote down what they knew from their own mind. So just because you're told to write what you know doesn't mean that you should only write things that are factual. Your own imagination is part of what you know. It's your truth, so write about it. So that's all I have for you today. I'd love to know, what's one thing you wrote about recently from personal experience? Let me know in the comments. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I put out weekly writing advice videos that will take your story to the next level. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media to see what I'm up to from day to day and to chat with me. And before we go, I just want to give a quick shout out to Sarah Frayne and Alan J. Early from my shout outs here over on Patreon, as well as all my amazing patrons. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate you. And remember, Nour for president!